The idea that trillions of bacteria living inside your gut could shape your risk of developing cancer, or your body's ability to fight it, is no longer fringe science. The gut microbiome, once dismissed as a digestive footnote, has become a central focus in oncology research. From colorectal cancer to melanoma, breast cancer to lymphoma, scientists are uncovering how the composition and activity of gut microbes may influence inflammation, immune function, tumor development, and even the effectiveness of treatments like chemotherapy and immunotherapy. But while the findings are exciting, they are far from definitive and often dangerously oversimplified in public discourse. Feed your gut, cure your cancer makes for a compelling headline. In practice, it risks distorting what is still a fragile and unfinished story. First, the evidence is largely associative. Observational studies consistently find differences in the gut microbiomes of cancer patients versus healthy controls. Individuals with more diverse microbiomes, and particularly those rich in bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, like butyrate, appear to have a lower risk of certain cancers, especially those of the colon. Conversely, microbial imbalances, dysbiosis, often driven by poor diet, antibiotics, or inflammation, are linked to elevated cancer risk and progression. Some species may promote chronic inflammation or metabolize dietary components into carcinogenic compounds. Yet association does not mean causation. It's not always clear whether dysbiosis is a cause of cancer, a consequence of it, or merely a bystander effect. And in many cases, attempts to correct the microbiome through dietary means produce unpredictable, highly individual results. Still, the appeal of modifying one's microbiome through food is enormous. Fiber, prebiotics, and fermented foods are widely touted as tools for cancer prevention or even adjunctive therapy. Dietary fiber feeds beneficial gut bacteria, encouraging the production of SCFAs that regulate inflammation and immune responses. Prebiotic compounds in foods like onions, garlic, and bananas similarly promote the growth of specific microbial populations. Fermented foods such as yogurt, kimchi, miso, and sauerkraut introduce live bacteria that may colonize the gut or at least modulate its existing balance. Some small studies have shown that higher intake of these foods improves markers of gut health and may reduce inflammation. But again, these outcomes vary drastically by individual, and long-term cancer-related impacts remain speculative at best. Worse, the popular narrative that you can heal your gut to prevent or cure cancer has given rise to a cottage industry of pseudoscientific therapies. Expensive microbiome testing kits promise to identify harmful bacteria and recommend customized diets or supplements, often without scientific backing. Probiotic and prebiotic products are marketed aggressively to cancer patients, despite minimal data on their safety or effectiveness in immunocompromised populations. And for every reputable microbiome scientist urging caution, there are a dozen wellness influencers encouraging extreme dietary regimens, detox cleanses, or elimination diets based on unverified stool tests. In some cases, this obsession with gut health distracts from far more pressing medical issues, leading patients to delay proven treatments or fixate on marginal interventions. The dangers are not just financial or emotional. Overzealous manipulation of the microbiome may have unintended consequences. Ingesting high doses of probiotics, especially in capsule form, can cause bloating, diarrhea, or worse in patients undergoing chemotherapy or with weakened immune systems. In rare cases, probiotic bacteria have led to bloodstream infections. Additionally, some prebiotics may feed not just beneficial bacteria, but also potentially harmful ones, depending on the individual's baseline microbiome. The science is simply not advanced enough to predict how each person's gut will respond to specific inputs. What nourishes one person's gut health might inflame another's. Emerging research into the microbiome's role in immunotherapy response has added another layer of complexity. Studies suggest that patients with certain gut microbial profiles are more likely to respond well to immune checkpoint inhibitors, one of the most promising new cancer treatments. In particular, species like Faecalibacterium prosnitzii and Akkermansia mucinifila appear to enhance immune activation. However, trying to engineer these microbes into your system through diet or probiotics is still more science fiction than science. Attempts to transplant favorable microbiomes through fecal microbiota transplantation, FMT, are in early trial stages and carry real risks, including infection. These are not DIY interventions, and promoting them as such is both unethical and potentially dangerous. So, where does this leave patients and families who want to support gut health during cancer care? The safest, most evidence-based path remains frustratingly old-fashioned: a diverse, plant-rich diet, rich in fiber, low in processed foods, with moderate inclusion of fermented foods where tolerated. Such a diet supports microbial diversity, reduces chronic inflammation, and improves overall metabolic health, all of which are beneficial in a cancer context, even if they don't guarantee microbiome-driven miracles. It's not about superfoods or gut resets, but consistency, variety, and moderation. In summary, the gut microbiome is an exciting frontier in cancer research, but it is not a magic lever to pull with dietary tweaks or probiotic pills. Its complexity defies simple solutions, and its manipulation must be approached with both scientific rigor and medical supervision. For now, the microbiome should be seen not as a cure-all, but as one piece of a vast and interlocking puzzle, fascinating, promising, but still far from understood. Overselling its power does nothing to help patients, and may, in fact, harm them.